Hello everyone, Railgan here again with another ZvP, and today I want to talk a little bit about how to beat late game Protoss, or rather beating late game Protoss in general. I'm going for a 12 pull opener, sending my drone down here to try and expand, sending my 6 links into 8 ling across the map. Going for the fast third hatchery, but this is all not that important because I will really want to focus on the late game. Doing some cutesy harassment over here, which is all fine and dandy, trying to take out this pylon, meaning his zealot has to go and defend. I see that he went for a rather fast nexus regardless of my harassment, which means he had to invest into zealots, which are not the unit you want usually. At home I'm droning up, building the queen, gonna get the gas pretty soonish I think. He's croning out an adept right now, which at least means he's not croning out probes. Yeah, the harassment is, well, over. As soon as the adepts are there, usually the harassment is over. Units lost, I lost 175 resources more, but he also lost some mining time, and the adept as soon as he sent it across the map. Speeding things up a little bit because this game is quite long and well, we don't want to waste too much time on unimportant things. I'm just droning up right now. As you can tell, I'm a little bit behind in workers, but that's usually the case regardless. My link speed is also later than usual, as it should already be done by about 2 minutes ago. Scouring the map with my links here, trying to take out his nexus. Of course he's able to defend it by the power of adepts and force fields. But I'm still trying to poke around a little bit. He's also harassing me with an oracle. I got spores at every base though, and I got an additional queen that is just there to spread some creep. So nothing much is happening. Over here some slight ling harassment. My 4th base is on the way as well. But as I said, the goal is the late game. So what am I doing this game to prepare for the late game? I'm getting the Hydralisk then. Started my +1 melee with my second 100 gas after the link speed. I have to also defend against these Phoenix. The way I do that is I just hotkey all my current queens, put them on one hotkey, build 3 new queens, and then use the 4 queens to defend against the Phoenix, especially in this space as I do not have a spore there. Over here some more cutesy ling harassment and some baneling run-bys that utterly fail. If you look through the window to the left right now, you can see some Phoenix dancing above the queens. If you look through the window to the right, you can see a Protoss taking a 4th base completely undefended and unbeknownst to the knowledge of the Zerg. What I'm doing is I'm pushing across the map with some Ling Hydra. I did not build an infestation pit yet, but I kind of realized that he is most likely going for Colossi, right? Let's see, we see Stalker Sentry. Oh, I wonder what the 3rd unit is going to be that he will build. Alright, it's always the same stuff anyways. Some Hydra harassment over here. The Oracle eventually fell to my queens because the guy piloting it is an idiot. And then I built another evolution chamber so I can start the carapace upgrade as well. Got the infestation pit, should have built that one quicker. I'm getting the lurker then. Lurkers can be quite useful. And over here is the first big fight. So a little bit back. I did not see him move out until about this point in time. Let's have a quick look at the current situation. I got the Spire on the way so I can build Corruptors and eventually go to Hive. I should build the Spire a lot quicker than I did this game, but well, I didn't. If you don't build the Spire, you cannot build Corruptors, so you have to beat the Colossi otherwise. I wanted to kill these rocks so I can push him from this angle, and this angle. Sadly was not able to do that, so we're going to do it a little bit different. Then I did not start my Hive yet, and Lurker then is also still on the way. Hive is going to be the next key tech though. So I'm preparing myself for this engagement, as you probably know if you watched any of my other Bane Hydra videos, by attacking him from multiple angles. So he is going to force field here, my units kind of get stuck. But Banelings manage to crash all the way on top of his army. He loses a lot of his units there, and then I have to retreat. My army is big enough to beat his army, but it was still kind of force fielded off and I didn't want to awkwardly lose too many units, I guess. I don't know, kind of failed. I don't have an Overseer with my army, which is a big mistake as I'm not able to kill the Observer. Then I get the Hive as soon as I feel safe. I should have gotten the Hive quicker so I can go for a quicker Broodlord push, but it's okay. What is important is that I'm mining gas at my 4th base, because you really need 4 base gas if you want to go for a hive tech build. Building a lot of corruptors right now, defending against the warp prism over here with hydras, eventually finishing it off with the corruptors. Got some infestors as well. Infestors are not going to be that important, but they're still quite nice to have. He's defending this space with shield batteries and cannons, which is also quite nice for him. The observer over here is kind of annoying, as I'm not able to spot it until now because I still didn't build an overseer. The corruptors are in place. Corruptors are going to be very important to kill multiple of his units. Mainly the Colossi, but also the Tempest that he's building. He's already preparing for my Broodlord tech switch. I don't think he saw the Greater Spire, but he kind of knows that it's going to come his way eventually. I'm trying to trade away a couple of my links here so I can make room for Broodlords. I'm also going for a little bit of a Hydralisk drop into his main base. The reason why I do that is because I don't really have that much use for 40 Hydralisks in my main army. But if I can trade off a couple of my Hydralisks, especially if he moves away every single Stalker he has, then that is very good. So his army right now is mostly Colossi, a couple Stalkers and a couple Tempest, while I have a lot of Broodlords, Corruptors, Infestor, Ling, Queen and Baneling. Queens are very important. I'm spending a lot of my focus on creep spread because I'm going to pull the queens into the fight. I'm going to slow down things a little bit right now so we can have a look at how things play out over here. I got that one lurker. More lurkers would have been nice, but I didn't have the supply. My Broodlords are stacked up, but he doesn't really have AoE against them. I'm throwing some fungals on top of his army as well. Not that effective, but better than nothing. The Hydralisk drop in the main base got shut down completely, but he's also losing his 5th base over here, and he lost a couple of his tech units. What am I doing to reinforce right now? I'm getting additional Corruptors, and my army is going to be mostly a lot of Broodlords, like a big chunk of Broodlords, some Queens, Corruptors and Hydras, as well as some Links, but the Links are going to be more or less useless, and I think I'm going to morph most of them into the Banelings. But we're going to see, because the next fight is going to be what will determine the end of this game. Flying around with my Broodlords, it's important that I don't leave my Broodlords alone, so I always have my Queens around my Broodlords. I still have to defend against these run-bys, so I sent some Links and Banelings, I guess, and Corruptors for whatever reason to clean up the charge slots. He has vision on my army, but that's okay as well. I'm preparing for an engagement right now, and I immediately notice that he has Storm, so I'm going to pull back. Against Storm I need to spread out my units a little bit more, so I'm trying to take a better engagement over here. My reinforcements are coming as well. It's important that I also keep a high drone count, because I might need to reinforce my units eventually once they start dying. I'm going to put drones back into the gas again. I'm at 5 base gas right now. And here we go with the final fight. Let's have a look. So my Corruptors are kind of being stormed. My Queens are firing away at his Tempest and the other units. I have a lot of Corruptors in the sky. Let's check the Corruptor count. 15 Corruptors that are hammering away at all his air units, and his Stalkers for some reason are just not that numerous, so they don't really blink underneath my Broodlords. And here's another important thing, he does not have any Archons in his army right now, so I'm able to backstab his Tempest with my Corruptors, meaning he will blink his Stalkers on top of the Corruptors most likely. But since he doesn't have any Archons, there's no easy way for him to kill all my Corruptors. So as soon as I noticed the lack of Corruptors and the lack of Archons, I immediately went all the way in there with my Corruptors. Then right here we have some Broodlord harassment, Stalker Tempest stuff. My Queens are spreading creep, transfusing. I'm losing some Broodlords over here, but that's okay. As I'm preparing myself for the final attack, I'm still reinforcing with a lot of Hydras right now, because I noticed that his army is mostly a Tempest army and he doesn't really have that many Colossi or Archons left, so Hydras are going to be excellent. He still has Storm, which is also very good against Hydras though. So right here I noticed that his Templars are surrounded by Stalkers. Because of that, I'm going in with the Links. If he would blink the Stalkers away, all the Templar would die without storming, right? Because the Links would immediately crash down on top of the Templar, so you cannot blink the Stalkers away, meaning the Stalkers take a lot of damage from my Links and Broodlords. Because his targets are positioned to the right, I'm positioning my Corruptors to the right of his army. if he would blink over here, he would first of all be attacked by the Broodlords, and of course the Templar would die. And this also allows me to kill the Tempest instead of having my Corruptors over here where they do nothing, right? Trying to catch the Tempest before they get to my Broodlords is what I'm doing here. Moving my Corruptors out of the storm range, and eventually this will lead to the GG, as my army of Broodlords keep crashing down on him until his defeat. So I hope you enjoyed this game. It was quite fun for me to play. So a little bit of everything, as always you can find the replay in the description below if you want to watch the game again. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.